Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Boston Uprising Collegiate Cup powered by Papa Gino's Pizzeria. And I'm Joker's Ransom. He's Chef Billy, and we're ready for an exciting banger of a series today, Billy.
Yeah, it's a quarterfinal matchup here between Rochester Institute of Technology, also known as RIT, and Champlain College. So a couple of New York squads battling it out here in the Boston Uprising Collegiate Cup. Now, taking a look at both these teams, I took a look at some of their background, took a look at some of their gameplay from yesterday, looking at the results. I think this is probably going to go the full distance, if I'm being completely honest. I think that Adbon is going to be setting the tone for this RIT squad, though. So let's take a look at that tank. A lot of off-tank players that have transitioned to this one-tank game, learning the juggle mechanics, learning the cooldown mechanics of a Winston. Can be a little bit of a learning curve. So a lot of these collegiate players that have not experienced the higher echelons of this game, they really have to learn a second subset of the tank category. They have to be able to play everything now. And I tell you what, I didn't mind what I saw coming out from Adbon and Yuyo. But look at this, Yuyo now going into the full meta. You've got the Winston. We're going to be seeing some monkey Winston zap, Winston bubble. But look at this Adbon going over to the Junker Queen.
Yeah, that's very interesting to say the least. I was not expecting that at all. Suzo coming out, and it's going to work out well, however, for the side of RIT. Adbon finding that first pick, and that's going to wrap things up. Sphero gone, and a nice use of the axe, taking down Yuyo as RIT get their first taste of capture percentage. Going to be able to get some more cart progress. Now, here comes the Graviton Surge that they needed, but it's not going to matter. There's no follow-up from the side of Champlain College.
What a smart disengage there from RIT. They just took the cornerback, they got away from the massively charged Yuyo, and just had nothing to do with that.
But there comes the rush out from RIT, looking to get some done. The Dragon Blade gonna be there, but the Suzo keeping them up and healthy as Essel goes down before any picks can be done by the Blade as they come back strong. The grab now out from Adbon as it's gonna be actual finding two of their own, but that's gonna be a very late Kitsune rush, and it's not gonna find the value that you needed, as that is RIT finding everything they need. This is going to be a huge time bank, Billy.
That's the big difference between these two right now, Joshua, is that Rochester Institute of Technology have figured out how they want to play this game, and they decided that Mercy just isn't going to be allowed to do it. And I tell you what, Adbon, I have just gained an extra level of respect for, because this Chad went through the Kitsune rush, went through all the pressure being put down, got chunked down to about 150 health, and then said, oh, by the way, I got a Q button. I'm going to lock you all up. And everybody just went ham on the Graviton Surge. The difference right now is that Yuyo is not willing to go into this mirror matchup against Adbon. Adbon is definitely throwing alpha vibes out here from the server, saying, I will take this game over.
If they lose this Winston, they have lost this fight, and they pretty much have lost the map, and they lose Sphero first and foremost. That is not what you need. Adbon taking over the game server, finding two picks in the fight, and that's going to really be it.
We see the performance again from Adbon that we just saw on Kings Row. This is going to be tug of war in the best sense. We're getting ready to go in. We're going to see what map it is that we are actually going to. It is Esperanza. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. This is not looking good for Champlain College right now, Billy. They've got to come back strong. It's down very close to the end now, but they need this fight win if they're going to have any chance of keeping it going, keeping their hopes alive for land. But it's going to have to be on the back of Rigpig, who has this Kitsune rush early. But Neote's out of this fight, and the sound barrier is going to be used in response to keep everyone up and healthy from RIT. And there's no picks coming out, as now they've had all the ultimates they need to win this fight out, as that's going to be huge. They find all the picks they need, Billy, and this is shaping up to be all but over. Come Essel out, finally finding value with this Dragon Blade yet again. Spiro trying to turn it around, but it's not going to be enough. There it is. RIT have won it. They've booked a trip to the LAN in Boston.
RIT, they didn't look good on Control Center. They got outplayed there. Tank choices kind of iffy there. But man, Adbon absolutely turned it around in maps 2 and 3. Definitely the most comfortable on that Zarya. Did not swap away from it. Did not go back into the pantry looking for other ingredients to try and match what Champlain College were doing. And they end up, sweeping the last 2 maps. And that's exactly what you want to see from your tank players, leading the tip of the spear and driving it in the heart of your enemies and coming out with the dub.
And speaking of Adbon, we have an interview with them right after this break. You're not going to want to miss that. Stick around. We'll see you soon. All right, everyone, we're back now here with Adbon, the mastermind behind the win from RIT. Adbon, how are you feeling? You've booked your trip to LAN in Boston.
It feels great. I nearly blew out my vocal cords yelling at the end, just calling stuff. It's the first time going to a LAN event. It's gonna be really fun. I was really looking forward to this, and it was a really good game, and I'm happy I got to go there.
All right, so let's talk about Lijiang Tower. Lijiang Tower did not go in your favor. Some different picks, maybe a little bit too close quarters. What was going through your mind as you guys were kind of getting smacked around by Champlain College there on Lijiang Tower?
It definitely wasn't great. I think we had a plan for how we wanted to play that ended up not working out. Obviously, we lost the map. But on the second round, we had again a plan like swapping to the Junker Queen, swapping to the Moira, really strong against the Monkey comp, in my opinion. But then they swapped to Zarya, and we ended up using a lot of ults in a fight. And it ended up, coming back to bite us that we really just had the worst front line in the end against the Zarya. But, it wasn't great, but we figured out what we wanted to run for second map, and then we ended up turning it around. Yeah,
second map was a completely different story, running into the Zarya mirror up against Yuyo. It looked like you guys had a mission to take the Reaper Mercy down first in the fight. Was that definitely something that you were looking forward to, or was that just a happenstance of circumstance?
We definitely noticed, like, about a minute and a half maybe into King's Row that Mercy on the Reaper likes to get really aggressive with the bubbles and then Wraith out. So we figured out, we can just kite and then re-engage, and then they don't have any resources, like they don't have bubble. A lot of the times they use Suzu aggressively, they won't have Wraith, so we can just isolate the Reaper and kill him.
Yep, yeah, that worked up to fruition. Then Esperanza, holy cow, that was on a different level, kind of back and forth in the beginning of the map. And then the ultimate economy started rotating in your favor. How did you guys survive that last Yuyo Graviton surge? Because he locked all of you up in it. I saw Suzu come in, but then you guys just absolutely turned the fight on its head. How did you guys go through that? And is that where you lost your voice?
That was definitely part of it. I think the only reason I lived was because their Sojourn missed a shot. I don't actually know if that's true, but I know I had one bubble up, and then the Suzu helped to, get me through the rest of the damage that might have been coming in. But I honestly don't know how I lived, but it ended up working out.
Liam, as far as my eye test throughout watching the tournament online, probably one of the best Kirikos in this tournament. Would you agree with that statement? And how big was your support line today?
Liam, well, actually, we haven't played a lot of Kiriko, to be honest.
Really?
But definitely, yeah, we scrimmed a lot of BAP. Then we figured out that in the game today that it wasn't really working out against what Champlain was running. So we ended up swapping to the Kiriko, kind of just... I said, like, after Lijiang was over, I was like, I think we just have to run Kiriko. Like, the character's so strong right now that we just kind of have to play it. And I swapped up my own playing style. I played more passive, like, more conservative with my bubbles. More waiting for re-engages instead of going in. But Liam did a really good job, especially considering we haven't scrimmed it. My Lucio player is a nutcase. He has really good beats. He builds them up really quickly as well.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful.
All right. So you guys are looking forward to being online or in person at Boston University next weekend. Any team that you're looking forward to playing?
I honestly haven't looked at the bracket too much, but all I know, I think, is Northeastern. I think is what the team is.
Yeah.
But that's the only team that I really recognize, like just name of.
Okay.
But other than that, I just haven't looked at the bracket, so I couldn't tell you.
No worries, no worries. It's right after your guys' win. So that's going to do it here for our interview. Do you guys have any shout outs? Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank Essel for being really good and playing Reaper really well, and Choco for popping off on Sojourn. And also, my mom is watching right now, I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty cool, and I think she's going to meet me at LAN.
Ooh,
So that's going to be great.
All right.
Very
well, that's it. That's it. We put you through the ringer. You've answered all my questions. You have passed the test, and we will say goodbye to you for now. Joshua, though, that was a fantastic series, and RIT in reverse sweep fashion take down Champlain College. So I tell you what, this team is somebody to be looking for.